Okay, we're going to start with the nation. 2 officers, 6 soldiers killed in attack. APC leaders mourn Kemi Nelson. Buhari seeks confirmation of acting general CJN and 19 wrecks. Train attack victim, 100 million naira paid for my ransom, for my freedom actually. Insecurity, food prices could double, farmers warn. An excess crude account down from $35 million to $337,655. Whoa. Okay, which story? Let's start with the major headline.
Okay, the major headlines, yes. So 2 officers were killed as opposed to, you know, the initial reports by this, the brigade spokesman, Captain Godfrey Abakwa, on the attack that happened in Abuja around Buhari. He had said no soldier was abducted, they had only 3 casualties, and they were already evacuated, and that, you know, only, that no soldier was whisked away, but the bodies of 2 soldiers were found in the bush, and they've been named. Let me quickly get their name. Sorry, Captain Samuel and Captain Lieutenant Jauro, and I think both of them are from Kogi State. So the Kogi State governor also added his voice to this report, saying that, you know, 2 of his finest indigenes in the army were affected by this and the attack around the law school. So the law school has also had their call to bar scheduled, and they had to reschedule it to the Body of Benchers Secretariat in Jabi because of the insecurity report. So what I don't like is that, you know, number one, we fail at, you know, providing security. Number 2, we then try to manage the information in a way that it looks, you know, worse than Turkey. You know,
these are human beings. They are human beings,
lives,
yes, and they should be honored.
Their bodies were found, so they were obviously taken away. If the security was up to par, they would have, you know, combated and at least tried to rescue them instead of finding their bodies lying in the bush.
There like that. All right, let's take another story.
Yeah, so farmers have alerted Nigerians to imminent rise in food prices. They are saying that the prices of staple menu like beans, rice, and gari may jump as high as 50% from next month. That's August. Now, according to All Farmers Association of Nigeria, they said one of the reasons that they are having this issue is because of the sacking of farmers from their farmland as a result of insecurity and banditry. So farmers are really afraid to get into their farms and, you know, provide food for us. And they went ahead to mention some of the things that have increased. They said a 100 kg bag of beans could sell for more than 100,000 naira from August. The bag of brown beans, which sold for 47,000 naira in June last year, was already selling for 82,000 naira. In July, a 50 kg of beans sold for 12,750, but the price went up to 30,000 by January last year and rose to 45,000 6 months after. A 4-liter paint bucket of beans now sells between 2,500 to 3,000. The price of 50 kg bag of rice, which sold for between 21,000 to 28,500, is now over 30,000. A sack of gari, 11,500. Just like everything is going up, and the government needs to do more with insecurity so that farmers can go back.
Really bad. I mean, I give her help money, and yesterday for the
when they come back,
I was really angry almost an empty bag. So yesterday, when she got from the market, she came straight to my room to show you, show me. She was down 2 more 500 naira. You know, we used to do 100 naira.
200,
I'm not eating 250 now. It's 250. It's crazy. Let's take another story in the nation.
So the excess crude oil account, this is supposed to be like this, the last-minute resort for our country when things are bad. Yes, when things are bad. In Okada time, was sovereign wealth fund. Without created this thing called
excess crude
grew substantially. And now we even grew again. We got to 30, the total was 35 million, over $35 million, $377. But in 1 month, in the month of May, we withdrew 35 million from this excess crude oil account, and now the excess crude account is down to $376,000. We have no buffer for any issue. If push comes to shove, like this is how you know it failed. When things fail, when you are unable to meet your basic obligation, and our revenue keeps dropping. What we are earning, I've been saying that every day. I think people don't get it. Get it so that you can know how to hold your leaders accountable.
I was going to take, the story about the train attack. So I think Mariam actually took that story yesterday, but it was in the papers today again. So one of the the victims that was freed recently, his name is Hassan Lawa Uthman, was saying that they had collected 100 million for their freedom. And said that those who abducted them were members of Boko Haram. They said that the insurgents were very well armed, and they're taking about a huge expanse of land that cuts about 4 states. And they said that it was narrating an experience, said that even before the flogging, a few days before they were flogging, that video that came out, they actually gave them 10,000 naira for their upkeep. They took care of them. And it's a business. It's a business. They took, it was just going on and on about what happened, and said that the federal government, their grounds with federal government is that federal government is not allowing them to practice their religion the way they wanted to. I don't know what that means.
I really don't understand.
I don't understand. So it's an ideological fight, according to him. And he said that it was feeding wasn't so bad, but at least it was just a fight that the federal government hasn't been really totally sincere on fighting this banditry. Moving on to the Punch. ISO plots massive attacks on Lagos, Kaduna, others. Passengers tackle bribe-seeking Osun policemen, law graduate battered. ASU, Labour threatens to shut down economy plan strike. FAC, allocation rises 18%. FG state share 802 billion. Muslim ticket Tinubu begins consultations, can't deny his knowledge. Emefiele house to bar CBN chiefs from politics. No immediate solution to aviation sector, says federal government. And subsidy lawmakers to probe Jonathan's administration. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Human interest, quickly. So this young lawyer working with the Mayoko Oluwadara's firm, his name is Mayoko Oluwadara. He's a young 23-year-old law graduate. He was traveling from Ikirun to Lagos in a bus and was accosted by police officers at the checkpoint. And you know the way the usual style, they wanted to search, they picked only him from the bus and asked him to come down for a search. And then the police officer then said to him, he said, why are you singling me out to search me? Is there a search, can I say search warrant or an arrest warrant? Why are you picking on me and all of that? And he said, no, you're an internet fraudster. Yeah. To which he denied that. He said, he disagreed. I said, I'm not one. He demanded his phone. He said, you can't search my phone without a warrant. And the police officer just said, okay, you're proving stubborn. Apparently, the objective is to sort of intimidate him to paying for himself out. But I must commend the entire bus full of Nigerians who insisted because they were asked to leave. And the driver said, I cannot leave a passenger with behind. You. The instruction from the park is to get every passenger to Lagos. Yes. I cannot leave one person for you. And that led to a fracas. They started beating this young man with their baton. They used everything. They tried to intimidate him. Other passengers then joined in, defended the young man. Amazing. The police officer brought out his phone saying, I will make a video of you. I will incriminate you with the video. And the young man, in the midst of all that beating, continued to shout out loud that, I'm being profiled wrongly. I did not do anything. They're asking me for a bribe. And because he was now screaming that into the video, the officer had to delete his own video. Eventually, they let him go. But they're asking for justice. And I hope that the Osun State, because the PRO from Osun, our friend Okpaola, said that, this has not been reported to her directly. She's just hearing it from the papers. But this is something that they must take up within Osun and find out those police officers who think it is okay to, intimidate an innocent Nigerian going around their businesses. Yeah, so another human interest story said the identities of 2 Nigerian men who were shot dead on Saturday at the ATL Lounge, Canada, had been, discovered. They said Chibweze Moma is 22 years old and Tosin Awaro Shegbe is 25 years old. And they were just working as security guards, I think, at the club. Some of the friends who know them say that they are very young, hardworking men who just, according to them, who just finished their masters. They were just doing that job to, make ends meet before they get a good job. One is into tech, the other is an engineer. And a fight happened in the club, and there was shooting. And before they realized, the 2 of them were shot dead, and one lady survived, who has been, another 25-year-old lady who has been taken to the hospital. The police are still investigating what happened at the clubhouse in Canada because they heard the gunshot and they raced down. Before they got there, these 2 men were lying flat, shot dead. The suspect disappeared.
And so the police is calling on witnesses who may have seen what happened to come forward and, talk about it. And also trying to check the surveillance videos to see if they can at least find the suspect. It's just painful. But friends have organized a GoFundMe account. They're trying to raise about $50,000 to the family so that they can do the burial. Bring them home.
Let's go on a break. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Talk about the story.
Yes, I was going to take the story of the aviation sector. So we all know the crisis aviation sector has been facing. A lot of domestic airlines delay. Many people have flight cancellation. One airline has already even had their license suspended. But it seems like there's no solution in sight. Aero contractors also have temporarily suspended operations. They said there's no immediate help for them because the crisis isn't local. The crisis is a global issue. That's what the federal government declared on Tuesday. And they also mentioned that the energy crisis is real, it's global. Today, aviation fuel problem is all over the world, from America to New Zealand. It's aggravating in Nigeria because we don't produce the products. That's what makes it worse here. But
okay, I was going to take the actually major headline. So there were strong indications yesterday, Tuesday, that ISWAP and Boko Haram are planning attacks in the northwest, north central, southern, and specifically Lagos, Kaduna, Kogi, Katsina, and Zamfara states. The spokesman of NSCDC, Shola Odumosu, when he was contacted by Punch, he failed to say any response because obviously they're trying to be mum. But there was a leaked memo that was quite instructive of the fact that there is a plan, that there are planned attacks on these various states, and they're looking at the government infrastructures, churches, public places, and they're asking that government should beef up security across border. People should be careful because these perpetrators are actually planning to come down south. Although the force PRO spokesman Muyiwa Dijobi said that Inspector General of Police has ordered the deployment of police personnel access to strategic parts of the FCT and other places. So these are some difficult times, but they don't want to send panic across, and they're asking that people should just stay calm. This is enough panic already.
Darling.
Daily Sun, London court grants Ekwuremadu's wife bail. Husband remains in custody. As to strike Labour grounds, Nigeria threatens to stop elections. How terrorists killed 2 Guards Brigade officers, 8 soldiers in Abuja. Tension as police defuse bomb in Kogi government office. Insecurity, 44 reports given before Kuje prison attacks reps. Obasanjo tax NPC inaccurate, credible 2023 census. Senate may confirm acting CGN Ariola today. Okay, which story are we taking this on?
Ekweremadu, the former deputy Senate president, who is facing criminal charges in the UK, has been remanded in custody while his wife has finally gotten bail. According to the London court, they said in fairly stringent conditions she has been granted bail. But new facts coming up says that, yes, the young man who's supposed to be the victim of human trafficking by the couple was taken to London and he was taken to the Royal Free Hospital where he was tested, and a test was conducted on his kidney, and it was found out that his kidney did not match. And then by the time he returned to the family house, he started being maltreated. According to the new reports in the Sun today, he said they changed the treatment dramatically. They started treating him effectively as a slave. And because of that, he escaped and was homeless for 3 days before he went to the Staines police station. I think God will help this couple in this matter.
This one is the major headline.
Okay.
So the Nigeria Labour Congress made good their threat yesterday and started the protest, which is supposed to be happening for 2 days. They were able to start as at 6:30 a.m. They gathered workers across the 35 affiliates of the NLC, including non-academic Union of Allied and Educational Institution, NASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, Nigerian Union of Journalists, members of the civil society, students and parents, as well as Trade Union Congress, the TUC. And they said they blocked everywhere from the southeast to the north central, south, and all that. Markets, schools were closed already before. Offices, everywhere was closed. And one of the things they're saying is that the federal government cannot say it doesn't have money to sort out ASU. The money paid for tickets in different political parties could be used to handle that, and they are not going to relent, that this is just a warning protest. After that, if nothing is done, they will proceed into a warning strike, 3-day warning strike. And after that, if nothing is done, they will now go full-blown into shutting down the economy, that the government needs to do something urgently so that these children can go back to school.
Okay, I was going to take the Kuje prison. So the House of Representatives said that 44 reports were provided by the DSS before the Kuje prison attack. And the Deputy Speaker was presiding over the House yesterday over the plenary. And the lawmaker, Abubakar Yilmaz, was urging the House to halt their plan to ban Okada nationwide. According to him, there are lots of millions of Nigerians who are dependent on this mode of transportation, and it would be completely unfair to have a total ban. What he was advocating for was that they can do a total ban on the specific hotspots across the country where we have these bandits in the various states and regions where we have the ban. While he was speaking, the Deputy Speaker called him to come forward. They had a talk to him, trying to tell him to step that the House plans to support the executive on this, and that this is not the time to bring up this objection. But he was saying that it's important for us to look at it again, because having a total ban might be counterproductive, because there are many people whose daily lives is dependent on this mode of transportation.
I disagree with him. When the crisis really,
and I felt, they had an argument, because one of the arguments the chairperson for them raised was that they also carry out criminal activities in vehicles. Is there a nationwide ban on vehicles? No, but to ban this because it's more lesser on the. It's almost like an elitist policy. Because you can't ban vehicles, but you'd rather ban motorcycles.
But if you look at the ratio of how many crime we're getting via vehicles versus how much crime we're getting versus... If you look at it and weigh it...
How many of our people...
looking for drastic measures. Yes. So this is different.
How many of our people are even using it as a daily livelihood? They are strangers, basically. They are not the people we know who were using this as a means of... They are not real Nigerians. So they have been infiltrated and the real Nigerians have been kicked out of that market. We need to...
So we need to look at it. So I'm happy there's a debate ongoing and it's good that all parties share their views.
Another kidnapping incident happened in Kaduna State, in the KK community of Millennium City of Chikum local government area. People were coming back from work. It was raining heavily Monday evening around 9 p.m. And once again, they said they woke up the next day and realized that probably people didn't even know what happened. They just realized that many people did not come back home. People already said, I'm on my way back home. They cannot ascertain the number of people that have been kidnapped. They said the police has not confirmed. They said as of the filing of this report, no official statement from both the Kaduna State Police and the Ministry of Internal Security have confirmed the number of people. It is confirmed that people have been kidnapped, but we don't know the number of people they kidnapped within that 9 p.m. evening of Monday when they realized it was raining and people were just being taken out of their houses.
Moving on now, let's see how much time we have left. We don't have much time. Vanguard protests, government toying with uprising like #EndSARS says NLC. NBA Olanipeku face off, body of benches meet, silent on Akpata's petition. Organ harvesting court grants Ekweremadu's wife bill. Ekiti Tribunal grants Oni's request to inspect electoral materials. Rex not recognized as members of INEC says Okoye. And IMF downgrades Nigeria's 2023 growth projection, retains the 2022 at 3.4%. Let's take the NBA. This face-off is really, really interesting.
So, according to this report, the chairman of the NBA, president of the NBA, sorry, had written to the legal practitioners disciplinary committee to investigate and sanction one Ms. Ogunde, who is presently working with Wole Olanipeku's firm as a lawyer. And this petition, of course, because of the end, will be viewed under the body of benches where Olanipeku...
But you guys know what happened?
So there's
give us the background story.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me give us... She's trying to protect her. You protect them also. What happened? What happened was that there's a lady in Olanipeku's law firm.
Yes.
Okay? She wrote a mail to a client actually suggesting that the firm would influence the judges towards the client, for a client. And she said it in a mail. Of course, I think it was Agbakuba, was the lawyer of the other party. And I'm like, how dare you say
send
that kind of bill? And that's how Katakata burst. Whoa. Now, the Akapata is now asking...
to step down from the body of benches before the legal disciplinary committee can then probe that action of the lady.
Yeah.
I didn't even have this bad gist. What me, I was just saying that this is how things are properly done. If you have an interest in the matter, you can't be a judge
Yes,
in
you
the matter.
can't.
And he being a body of better, he must step down. This lady acted in his favor.
Wow.
So that's what they
She forgot the ethics of the profession.
Totally.
Anybody
No,
just
no,
hustling.
I'm
They've
telling
got
you.
this legal thing to hustle.
Unfortunately for her, she's working for such an icon in the
The icon has to step down while the
but see,
investigate what she's
I
doing.
don't-
He has to
it's not
step
his
down.
fault.
He has to
But he
step
has to
down.
step down.
Well,
All the respect I have for Oliola Nipekun, he has to step
down because
from
of
the body
this.
of ventures. That's what they're asking. Just temporarily. While this
And
is
TMS,
all the years of
Oh,
work.
messy up.
All the years of work. This one.
But it's really not about him.
I know
Yes,
it's
it's
not
about him.
It's
Yeah.
about the lady.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's
about
go.
the
Let's
lady.
go on a break. When we come back, want to
Where
hot
you have
topic.
this lady?
I have just my area now. I get connection in that area. Stay with us. We'll be right back.